Welcome to your Sea-Doo product orientation video, brought to you exclusively by North Shore Sports. Throughout the instructional, we strongly advise taking notes of any questions you may have and consulting with your sales professional before using your new vehicle. Let's begin.
Welcome to North Shore Sports. My name is Andrew. Obviously, first and foremost, congratulations on your new Sea-Doo. Today, I'm going to walk you through a general overview of kind of what to expect when you're first picking up a Sea-Doo, some of the stuff you should know before you go to use it and put it in the water for the very first time. So whether you are a first-time Sea-Doo owner or a seasoned veteran who's had lots of Sea-Doos over their life, this video should have something for everyone. Before we get started though, of course, I'm gonna tell you to make sure you read your owner's manual front to back before you put this Sea-Doo in the water, and consult your local laws and regulations about any legal matters regarding this stuff. Of course, you know, this is my opinion, not legally binding, and we just want to make sure we cover that base before we get going. So local, provincial, federal laws, they're going to take precedence over anything I've got to say here today. So with that being said, let's get started. We'll take a look. All right, so the first thing we're gonna make sure we do before we even think about starting the Sea-Doo is put your life jacket on. All right, life jacket comes with a really super convenient clip on it that you can attach your tether and key to make sure that if you were to fall off the Sea-Doo, it's gonna shut the Sea-Doo off and keep you safe on the water. So your key here has a couple cool features. Obviously it floats with the floater on it, and it's actually digitally encoded to your Sea-Doo. So this key is only going to start your Sea-Doo, and it's just one of the anti-theft features that Sea-Doo puts onto their machines. So if you lost your key, not to worry, you can always get another one programmed here at North Shore Sports. The Sea-Doo does have to come in that circumstance, so one of the things that a lot of people end up doing, because these machines only come with one key from the factory, is actually get a second one as a spare programmed before they leave. So we've got a GTX 170 here. Our key is going to clip on right underneath the handlebars, and then you can go ahead and attach it to your life jacket from there. Storage compartment is found here with a watertight compartment for your phone. Opens up just like that. You'll notice we've got some safety components inside here. So before you get on the water, you're gonna make sure you have a working fire extinguisher, a safety kit with all the required safety components. Be sure to put batteries into the flashlight before you get onto the water. And in Ontario, you are required by law to carry a paddle on board the watercraft. The sparks are located a little bit differently than the full size. Underneath the seat is where you're going to find your fire extinguisher. In Ontario, the paddle for the spark does function as your seat. So this is a substitute for the paddle, so you don't actually have to carry a paddle on board the Sparks. Seat is qualified as your paddle. And then on this, we have your owner's manual found in this compartment, as well as the holding location for your safety kit. The next feature inside this storage compartment is your fuel. Okay, so all the ST3 fuel compartments are going to have the fuel located in the exact same spot right here. Anything that is naturally aspirated, so 170, 130, 90 horsepower, model dependent, is going to take regular gas, 87 octane. Anything that's supercharged, so the 230 horsepower, 300 horsepower, and 325 horsepower models, you're going to be wanting to run premium gas in at 91 octane. Moving on to some of our controls here, we have our start and stop button. That's going to turn the Sea-Doo on and off. The key's got to be plugged in to start the machine. On the left side here, there's an up arrow and a down arrow. That's going to control your trim for the Sea-Doo. So the trim is going to dictate how the Sea-Doo responds to throttle input. So the higher the trim is selected, the more the nose of the Sea-Doo is going to lift, and vice versa. When you trim it down, the Sea-Doo is going to stay flatter on the water. On the left side is your drive mode function, so that will engage sport mode for the ski, or it's going to engage eco mode as you toggle it through. This button here is your cruise function. So the cruise function is used to govern your speed for longer rides. It's not like a car or a truck where you're on the highway and you can completely take your foot, or in this case your finger, off of the throttle. The cruise is going to just set your speed, and then basically will eliminate any throttle input. So what you can do is squeeze the throttle to the bar once your cruise is set, and it's not going to change your speed. On the right side of the gauge, this keypad is going to control all the features that you have on the actual display. So your trip A, your settings, your battery voltage, that kind of stuff is all going to be controlled using this keypad. As far as controls for the Sea-Doo, this trigger on the right hand side is your throttle. The trigger on the left hand side is going to give you your neutral or brake and reverse. Okay, so when the Sea-Doo first starts in the water, it's going to be in neutral. If you were to tap your throttle, that's going to engage forward gear for the Sea-Doo. If you were to hold it, you're going to get going. It's going to stay in forward gear right up until you put it back into neutral by just tapping your left trigger here. To use reverse, you're going to hold the left trigger, and at the same time you're going to use your throttle. So be mindful, don't squeeze it too hard. That input is pretty sensitive. So if you ever need to access your engine compartment, it's really simple on these full-size models. There's two tabs at the back of the seat. They just need to be pushed in at the same time, and then your rear seat's going to be removable. Next, there's a handle in the middle that's just lifted up on, and then your second half of the seat is also easily removed. Inside here, we have your engine compartment. So on this side here is your dipstick to check your engine oil. The battery is located straight down on the side furthest away from me. Coolant level is easily checked with the reservoir bottle here. And this plug-in is used to program your Sea-Doo. So we have our fuse box location found right there as well. So all the information's right on the fuse cover. Putting the seat back is just as easy as taking it off. This is just going to slide on. Make sure you hear it click. And same with the back piece. Push down until it clicks. So next we're going to show you a couple features that the back deck of the full-size Sea-Doos have. So the first one we're going to tackle is the ski pylon location that you can add. Certain models come with the ski pylon, like the Wake 170 and Wake Pro 230, but it is an addable feature on every other full-size Sea-Doo. So this cap is the first thing that you need to take off to install the ski pylon, and then you would just quickly remove the second half of the seat. The pylon is going to be installed just by inserting it into the hole and twisting it to lock it in, and then you add the tripod, and the tripod just swings down, locks in to place, and then is extendable for towing a skier or wakeboarder. So one thing to note with this ski pylon, it is not to be used to tow tubes. Tubes will always have to be tied onto the back of the Sea-Doo right here. This ski pylon is only going to be used for towing individuals on wakeboards or kneeboards or actual water skiing. So once you've got that ski pylon on, you can put your second seat back on, and it's going to give your passenger handles for spotting. Feature we're going to talk about is the link brackets that are built right into the deck on the back of the Sea-Doo here. So deploying them is as simple as just pulling up on them. When you want to snap on any of the link accessories that Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo, Can-Am offers, they're all going to be compatible between those three lineups. So this right here is just one of the link coolers that Sea-Doo offers, and snaps on just by using the link brackets at the bottom. And it's secured. Simple as that. So there's some important features at the back of your Sea-Doo. Pictured here we have a GTX 170, which does come standard with this boarding ladder here. If your Sea-Doo doesn't have this, you can add this to any of the full-size models. So it just helps you get in and out of the Sea-Doo from the water. This boarding ladder isn't designed or made to handle somebody stepping up onto it, using it on dry land. So it is just to be used as an assist getting up onto your Sea-Doo in the water, but it's a super functional accessory, makes reboarding your Sea-Doo while you're in the water very simple. So located underneath the boarding ladder on each side of the Sea-Doo, we have a drain plug hole. So one on that side, and there is one on this side. The drain plug holes are not to be mistaken for the flush valve that's located further up and to the right of the Sea-Doo. Very important that you always have them in, putting the Sea-Doo in the water. So a couple really important things to note about the flush valve found on all of our Sea-Doos. This piece of equipment is not to be used unless you know what you're doing. Some major engine damage can happen, can occur very quickly if you use it improperly. Here in Ontario where we're located, we're not around salt water, so realistically there's very few reasons that somebody would even need to use the flush valve. Winterizing would be one of them. But that being said, again, a caution to anyone using it, make sure that you know exactly what you're doing before you go ahead and hook a hose up or try to pump coolant through your Sea-Doo, because again, major engine damage can occur very quickly if you don't follow the proper sequence when you're using it. At the back of your Sea-Doo, you're gonna notice a caution sticker. This sticker is designed to be referred to if you were to ever flip the Sea-Doo upside down. So any of the full-size models, it's important that you right the Sea-Doo clockwise if it were upside down. So if you can picture this completely 180 degrees upside down, the sticker is gonna at that point be right side up. So you would take a look at it from the back of the Sea-Doo right where I am right now, and then make sure that you follow the arrow when you're writing it. So this one's clockwise. Again, the full-size models are clockwise. And then we're gonna go point out a Spark model. Our Spark model sticker is counterclockwise. So very, very important. If you were to flip it the wrong way, it can allow oil to enter the cylinder. So it's a bigger deal if you put it upside down and flip it back the incorrect way. Anytime you ever do flip the Sea-Doo, don't panic. It's not a big deal. These things are totally fine to be upside down in the water for a fairly long period of time without any difficulty. The one piece of advice I would give, once you do have it back upright in the water, don't fire it up right away. You're gonna wanna let it sit for a minute or so to let that oil come back down into the bottom. Basically, water is sucked up underneath the Sea-Doo in the intake grate, or through the intake grate, and then ejected out the back with the impeller, which would be the propeller of the Sea-Doo. So, a couple really important pieces of information to note. You've got to be in deep enough water when you're using this Sea-Doo. So don't even think about firing it up or running it in water that's any less than at least waist deep. It can happen really quickly to suck something up, whether it's rocks, sticks, debris, weeds, any of those pieces of debris that come in, enter the intake grate, or go through the impeller, can cause pretty major damage in a very, very short period of time. So make sure you're in deep enough water before you go ahead and fire this thing up. So we've got a nice new set of Sea-Doo straps to go along with your new Sea-Doo. These are super easy to use and have some rubber protective parts on it to make sure that no damage can occur to your Sea-Doo. So each model is a little bit different. The one that we're looking at right here, the GTX, does have our 2 metal hooks at the back. We're going to use these to secure the Sea-Doo to the trailer. So we're going to come on up, hook that. I like to go underneath the boarding ladder so we're not putting any extra pressure on that boarding ladder. And then coming up and over. It's really important that you check your straps after a couple minutes of driving when you have first loaded your Sea-Doo onto your trailer. What can happen is as you go over bumps on the road, the Sea-Doo can kind of jostle around a little bit and may settle on the bunks. So what can happen, as tight as this strap is right now, it can loosen up after just a minute or two of driving with any bumps that you hit on the road. So great idea after a couple minutes or before you get on the highway to recheck your ratchet strap at the back of the Sea-Doo here. So we're ready to put the Sea-Doo in the water. First thing we're gonna make sure we do is take the straps off the back of the Sea-Doo. You can back the Sea-Doo down the ramp. I would leave this front strap hooked up until you're pretty much in the water or as close to it. That way, if the Sea-Doo were to, be on a steep incline or decline and start rolling off the trailer, at least you're rolling into the water. So you'll unhook this, back the Sea-Doo far enough into the water that it basically starts to float, and then push the Sea-Doo off of the trailer. There's a term that's used, power loading. That would mean you turn the Sea-Doo on to either take it off of the trailer or put it back onto the trailer. Highly not recommended to use power loading to put this on or off the trailer. Do not ever have it running in that shallow water. That is when a lot of rocks or debris can get sucked up. So just to avoid those issues at all, do not ever power load the Sea-Doo, and make sure it's always off when you're putting it in and out of the water. When it comes time to put your Sea-Doo back onto your trailer, what you're gonna do is take the winch rope all the way out, hook it onto the hook at the front of the Sea-Doo, and you're gonna use the winch to pull the Sea-Doo onto the trailer. Really important that you are in deep enough water while you do this to make sure that you don't scratch the bottom of the hull on the bunks. The deeper the water that you're in, the less pressure that there is going to be on the hull of the Sea-Doo. So it's important that you do get the trailer deep enough in the water when you're loading and unloading. Break-in process is really straightforward on all of our models. 5 to 10 hours, model dependent. Just check your manual for which one it's gonna be. The break-in process is simply just varying the speeds, up and down, up and down. You just wanna take that engine through the whole RPM range as you go through the break-in procedure. So maintenance is minimal on these Sea-Doos, but it's really important that every year you do an oil change and have your Sea-Doo winterized. So something we offer here, if you don't want to tackle it yourself, just give us a call here at service. We can take care of it for you. The first oil change for your new Sea-Doo, it's a great idea to have it done around that 10-hour mark or so, and then again at the end of the year. As far as winterizing goes, it's a pretty straightforward process, but very, very important that you have that completed. In freezing temperatures, some major engine damage can occur if you don't winterize your Sea-Doo, so that is something critical that has to be done every single year in our climate. So when you pick up your Sea-Doo, it is gonna come with a 1-year warranty on it. That's your standard warranty coverage on all our models. If you are interested in purchasing extended warranty and you haven't already, no problem. We can do it up to about 30 days left in your factory warranty. So just make sure that you give us a call before your factory warranty has 30 days left to expire, and we can get you set up with extended warranty. So thank you from all of us at the team here at North Shore Sports. We hope you love your new Sea-Doo. This should complete our recap. Any extra product questions that you might have after watching our product video here, feel free to ask your sales guy or girl here when you come to pick up your Sea-Doo. And just to recap again, owner's manual should be read front to back. Make sure you go through that. And for any legal questions, just make sure you consult your local laws and regulations. This video isn't going to be a legally binding video here to take into account any situation you might get into on your Sea-Doo. So with that being said, have fun on the water this summer. We hope to see you out there.